Okay, with the screenwriter of Downburst, Carlos. Carlos, how do we pronounce your last name?
Carlos Galinho Pires.
Okay, you did it way better than I did. So he's an action best scene, winning action best scene screenplay. Downburst. It's about the wildfires, I guess, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
So give us a pitch. What's the screenplay about?
So basically, it's about a huge wildfire that creates its own climate, microclimate, called DOWNBURST. Um, and basically, it's a multi-character plot. So with multiple main characters trying to fight the wildfire and survive it. And in the middle, there's also a thriller, an investigation journalist that tries to uncover the truths behind this big wildfire.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit of thriller. It's got conspiracies. There's like a journalist trying to uncover like why this is happening.
Yeah,
It's a lot. There's a lot going on, and also it's a very timely subject as well, right?
yes, yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, like, does that what kind of motivated you to write the script, seeing all the wildfires that are occurring around the world?
Yeah, well, this is actually based on some big wildfire that happened here in Portugal a few years back, which actually created a downburst, and I was very curious on knowing what about this downburst event is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found the theme interesting, and yeah, with of course a lot of wildfires happening all around the world.
So you're based in Portugal,
Yes, yes.
and you have a huge poster of the South America behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a symbolism of the South America poster?
I think it was my grandfather that traveled to Brazil, so this is from him.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, so basically, so your first language is Portuguese.
Yes, yes.
So, but you wrote the screenplay obviously in English, and it's a very well, like it's winning awards, and like so your grasp of the English language is profound enough to write a winning screenplay.
Yeah, well, it's hard, yes, because English is not my first language, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, I'm trying and improving every script I write in
And
English.
you're all, but you like, is there a Portuguese version of the screenplay?
The screenplay, no, but the tale, yes, because this is based on a tale that I wrote in Portuguese. So yeah, and the tale is on one of my published books
Gotcha. So
in
you've
Portuguese.
written three books to date, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is based on your second book, the screenplay.
I think it's the third book.
So what motivated you to jump into screenwriting? Obviously, you've done a lot of novels, you're doing well. Why screenwriting?
Because I've always been passionate about movies and but basically the stories I write I write them with the screenplay in mind probably. So yeah, but basically I think it's the natural flow, I guess, moving from novels or tales to screenplays.
And it says according to Network ICA, you written 11 scripts so far, and you've won seven awards with those 11 scripts.
Yeah, I've been winning several accolades on several contests. Yeah,
So
all in English language.
you've been busy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's for me, it's kind of a hobby, but it's a serious hobby. So I really love writing screenplays. Yeah.
So you're an engineer, correct?
Yes, yes.
That's what you do for like a quote unquote living.
Yeah, that's my, my main job as software engineer. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's like working all sides of the brain.
Yeah, yeah. I like to keep my mind busy, I guess.
So what so basically so what kind of like do you remember when you're like obviously you have to go to school for a lot of years to be an engineer. It's a very usually a stressful job, a time consuming job. What got you to do write screen? What got you to write your books? What got you to do you remember when that was?
Yeah, so it was right after I finished my college graduation. I went to some writing classes, creative writing classes, and also screenplay writing classes. And yeah, basically, in the beginning, I didn't even know that I was able, to write stories, and I didn't even know how to build the plots and all those things. But with time, I discovered, okay, I actually enjoy this, and I have some cool ideas, and I like to try to go further and start writing blogs and then books and now screenplays.
And then do you but then writing a book is a huge task. Did you just do it like after work, like on the weekends?
Yeah, mostly on the weekends.
You just would write, and then were you did you when your first book was done, did you send it out to publishers? Did you get people to read it?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, I sent to publishers, and they accepted and accepted to publish the book. But I mean the contents of all the books they were mostly based on the blog that I was also that I wrote in the past. So everything was like an evolution.
Gotcha. And you're writing a blog at the time. So
Yeah,
what does
yeah,
your
yeah.
family think about your prowess as a writer?
Well, they found it interesting. Yeah, I guess even my parents they didn't know that I could write stories. But yeah, I guess that they now are kind of proud.
You're also an amateur cyclist,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
and then
Yeah,
you coming in.
occasionally,
What's that?
occasionally, yeah, I like to ride bike, mostly also on the weekends.
Do you and it says that you play a lot of they play more than one music instrument.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when I was a kid, I studied on a music school. So yeah, occasionally I like to play some instruments, and to keep the mind busy.
How many instruments do you play?
Uh, Three is saxophone, piano, and drums.
Oh wow, sax. That's a cool instrument.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're a pretty busy guy.
yeah.
So do you like when you wrote this screenplay, and obviously it's adapted from your book, but it's book obviously writing and screenplay writing is different.
Yeah.
Obviously less description, you're in the moment in screenwriting. How is that adaptation writing did you cut down how is that process adapting your book?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because I've always, read some advices about this because when they say, okay, if you are adapting a story to a screenplay, it's a different story, so you need the same amount of work and time. But I always thought, okay, but I have this story, maybe I think I can just put the story on the plain screenplay. But no, yeah, I really confirmed it takes the same amount of effort to develop
Yeah.
because yeah, it's a different medium, so it requires another approach. Yeah.
And but you wrote it, why did you decide to write it in English?
Yeah, and there's also that, like translating the story. It's another effort on top. Yeah.
So, but why, what was the motivation to set to write in English? Because just you want, there's obviously more attention will be given to you in English.
Yeah, I think I want to get this story to the whole world, so it's easy to write in English, I guess. And there's also a lot of contests happening in English.
Yeah,
So I guess, yeah, it's the reason.
that's where Hollywood is, and that's the movies that I'm assuming you watch a lot of Hollywood movies, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
And that's because that's so basically, but your novel was written in Portuguese, right?
Yes, yes.
So not only did you have to translate it, like do the adaptation, you had to translate it into English. And of course, when you use a translator, it's not the same thing. There's nuance missing, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
You learned that firsthand.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So some stories, I think they are gonna be really hard to adapt because it also depends on different cultures. Um, but yeah, mostly I think it helps watching, a lot of movies in English and on
Yeah,
their original language without dubbing, just with the subtitles. And yeah, I think that also helps to, being more uh, connected and engaged with the writing fiction in English. Yeah.
gotcha. And that's so that you grew up on watching like Hollywood movies
Yes, yes, I can say that. Yeah.
in the 90s or the 80s, 90s and aughts.
Yes, yes.
You said you had Matrix was the one that you saw the most times in your life?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I found so the story, I mean, it's very original and interesting, and at the time using that technology, to make the movie also make it even more interesting. And I guess since I had always also this passion with computers, and with software, and it's so I guess everything contributed to me liking that movie and watching it so many times.
Did you think you're going to be an engineer like when you were
Yeah,
watching that movie?
yeah,
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 software engineer.
yes, exactly.
So what do you like so basically like that's sort of like you're working crazy and then you go home and then you kind of like to change your brain to like shift you have to shift your brain power, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it requires that kind of discipline. So, you know, work during the day, 8 hours a day, and then just shift to another mindset, rest, or, write. So, yeah, I guess it requires the discipline to keep everything, to be able to do a little of everything I want to do.
Yeah, well, you're an impressive guy. You got lots going on.
Yeah.
This is a
Thanks.
pretty solid action script, but of course there's more to it than that, right? So, are you working on another script right now?
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm working on another adaptation. Um, yeah, I'm almost finishing it. So let's see.
Well, I wish you the ultimate best of success with this script. I think it's amazing, and with you, like you
Thank
just keep producing things, and it's impressive. So hopefully this gets in the right hands for you, and it gets made.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day. You have to go back to work.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm gonna have to get back to coding.
Coding. All right, you get back to coding. All right, man. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you, Matthew.